Yo, Round the Way Podcast checking in, the boy Beezy. You know what I mean? Me and my boy Merk.
You already know what it is, Round the Way Podcast, your boy Merk. Y'all see what's going on tonight.
We got a special guest, man. Real boss. I ain't gonna lie to you, like a real doctor. Young, black, you know what I mean? And he looked like us. So I ain't gonna lie to you, it kind of tripped me out when I came across him. I'm like, damn, what? Dr. Sebi? In the young flesh? And I started listening to him like, nah, he got his own mind. This ain't no Dr. Sebi, just a holistic doctor. He got his own methods of how this thing gonna work. So when I started watching you, man, and seeing what's going on, I'm like, I gotta tap in with Yahki. Yeah. Like right now, I'm getting cold. Cold boost, cold bump right now. No, real thing, man. Now I'm telling the vibe's right. So when I seen you actually, like, I'm saying to myself, like, how am I get in contact with him? Because my brother-in-law came to me and was like, Sean, you need to get this dude out here. I said, yo, Dolph, I just was on a couple of days now.
Well, praise.
I jumped right into my DM.
Yeah.
I said, damn, he didn't answer the first time. Something said, yo, Sean, go back again. I wrote him again. The second time, I was like, yes. So it's like all God, it's like God brothers right here, man. Yeah. So I'm glad you looked in your DM that day and brought you around the way to come bless us with this game for all these young people right here.
Yeah, let's do it.
You know what I mean? Yes, let's go. So what's up, Yahki? Talk to me.
Man, I'm feeling good. For those that don't know me, that's new to the podcast or that's been following them and that don't know nothing about me, my name is Yahki Raphael. Everybody call me Yahki Raphael Awakened. I'm a holistic doctor. I'm a biochemist. I'm a master herbalist, a Reiki healer. Anything to really do with natural healing modality is what I'm into. So that's what I do, man. I'm a master healer.
Quick question. Where that Yahki name came from? Because I know that's not your birth name.
So it's not my birth name, but it is my legal name now.
Yes.
I identify as a Hebrew Israelite. So Yahki, I speak fluent Hebrew, I write fluent Hebrew, and I read fluent Hebrew. Hebrew is like my second language, it's my second tongue. So Yahki really means Yakai, and Yakai means Yah who gives life. That's what Yah means. Yah come from, it's the root word that stems from Yahweh. So that's where Yah come from, which is the creator, and then Kai is life. So Yahki is Yah who gives life.
Sound kind of familiar to like Jah, you know?
Gotcha. Yeah, Jah, man. Yeah, that's what same thing.
Same thing.
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah, right. There's really no separation from the Rastafari, Haile Selassie movement and the Hebrew Israelite movement. They believe in the same principles. The only thing is you have Messianics that believe in Christ Yahushua HaMashiach. Then you have non-Messianics that don't believe in Christ Yahushua Mashiach, who they call Jesus, and then you have the Rastafari movement where they believe in Haile Selassie as they say. So
it's all from the same thing.
Same principles, man. When you look at any religion, though, any religion is broken down like that. All religions got three major gods. All religions got consequences. All religions got a certain type of creed or commandment. All religions got good or bad angels. They just all call different names based off the culture. All religions have a major flood. Okay. It's the same recycled information. It's the same thing.
So quick question. Do you believe in religion?
I don't believe in religion. I believe in nature. I look at nature as my religion. If it was to be a religion, it would be nature. So I look into nature as far as life. Yeah. I think that nature is our true classroom. You know what I'm saying? And I think the breath and honing in on the breath and conscious breathing and being mindful while breathing, that's our curriculum. You know what I'm saying? So I believe if you really want to learn the way of life, if you want to learn the keys to life, if you want to learn metaphysics, go and sit in nature and just be silent, be still, and look how nature move and interact within its own self. And that's how you find God. Okay. So I don't believe in religion, but I'm not against religion because religion do give us some type of self-discipline, and us as black men, so-called black men, we need discipline. So I'm not against it.
So speaking on the breathing, I seen you saying the other day you was telling people like breathing through the mouth is bad.
Yeah, it's super bad. We see that breathing through the mouth is not only bad, it gives you bad breath. It messes up the lining of your jaw. It causes teeth decay. It actually rots out the nasal passage because you're not using them. And when you breathe and you're breathing through the nasal passage, you actually have filters that's inside the tissues that make up your nasal passage that actually filter out the air. Because believe it or not, air is very, very cold. Mm-hmm. So whenever we breathe in through our nasal passage, you go through these temper filters that actually make the air a certain temperature for your body can stand it, whether it's hot or cold. Mm-hmm. Say if you go outside and it's 30 below 30 below and it's freezing. Yeah. That's very, very cold air. So when you breathe that air in, it goes through these filtering mechanisms inside the nasal passage. Not only that, it goes to the brain too. And the brain requires oxygen, and every 150 trillion cell in your body require oxygen too. But when you breathe in this air, you breathe in this cold air, what these filters do inside the nasal passage is actually warm the air up for the body can accept it. So, mouth breathing don't do that. There's no filter mechanism when you breathe through the mouth, and it causes bad bacteria in the mouth. Again, it messes up the lining of your jaw, and scientifically proven, mouth breathers on average literally live 10 years lesser than somebody else that do breathe through their nose.
Wow. Man, that's a hell of a stat right there, man.
Yeah, I seen you talking about
mouth breathing is bad, man.
And I wanted to ask you about that.
It's been getting so bad. They done created tape. They got tapes they created now where you can go to sleep and you can tape your mouth with this little black tape that don't have no poison on it, because they starting to understand the actual science to nasal breathing. The brain requires oxygen, bro. And whenever you're not breathing properly, you actually are getting a lack of oxygen or the deprivation of oxygen to the brain, man, and that can shrink the brain. It causes all types of different what I'll call it, endocrine system disruptors. It messes up your circadian rhythm. It messes up your awakening and sleep pattern. It messes up your biological clock. So breath is important. Yeah. I mean, that's why we all here. We all here to breathe, and you breathe to get mitochondria. You breathe to get ATP to your mitochondria, for you can yield power. So we got to breathe correctly.
But yeah, Yahki, I want to bring it back, Yahki, man, to one time before you was Yahki. I want to bring it back to then. Like one time you was probably like me when I was lost, still smoking. I do smoke, drinking. You know what I mean? Not conscious of certain stuff, but still doing it.
Yeah.
What was it, man? Cause I seen you say you was going through some stuff. You had some kind of disease. You got shot. You went through all the shit, man. So I want to know, what is it that made you say, damn, let me get my life and change up the whole diet, the whole mind. What was that?
I had a heart attack. Man, I was smoking like 20 blunts a day, smoking a pack of cigarettes, chasing my blunts with it.
How old were you?
I started smoking when I was 11. I started drinking when I was 9.
And the heart attack happened at what age?
The heart attack happened when I was 21. It was 2008, I believe, 2008. So yeah, man, just think about this. I was smoking a pack of Newport Shorts a day. Not only was I doing that, but I was smoking like 20 blunts a day. I'm not exaggerating.
No, I believe
on top of that, we drinking fifths and fifths of what you would call Remy Martin 1738. That was my drink back then, cognac. Yeah. So I'm doing this daily, man, every single day. I used to sell narcotics and stuff like that. So I was into the pharmaceutical companies and that type of side. So I started getting high off my own supply. I started snorting cocaine. And I guess that's a potent mix, man. And I ended up getting addicted to that rush, addicted to that high. And I used to always feel my heart, having flutters and me having heart palpitations, but I never really thought nothing of it.
Yeah, but you felt it though.
Yeah, so look, let me tell you, it's crazy. So I used to feel this stuff, right? And I used to go to the hospital, but they never said it was nothing. I was a hypochondriac. When you on cocaine, on weed, on alcohol, on cigarette, when you on all them drugs at once, it makes you paranoid. So I used to snort a line and feel like I was dying anyway and had to go to the hospital. So I go to I was at the hospital so much they knew me by my face and name. They knew me as soon as I come in there. They're like, look, you can't keep coming up in here. Ain't nothing wrong with you. Well, this particular time, something was really wrong with me because I didn't take myself to the hospital. I had to call 911, man. I snorted a line at my house, man. And it wasn't even 2 minutes later, I hit my square, man, and I ended up falling. Damn. And so I called, I'm like, man, this gotta be real. So they ended up getting me to the hospital. This time, the same doctor they always come out was laughing at me like, man, it's you again. But he went to the back and came back. He like, it's real this time.
This time is real.
Yeah. He showed me on the EGK. He like, look, man, this is showing symptomologies of a heart attack. But I already knew it was real because I'm the one having a heart attack. So, man, I don't know about this particular time, but it scared me straight, man. He looked me in my eyes. He said, if you do this again, you might not make it.
And you went cold turkey ever since that?
Yeah, I went cold turkey right then and there. Been shot, stabbed. I done been through some tremendous things in my life, man. Never, ever, ever had a scare straight like that. This particular moment, I don't know if the stars was aligned a certain way because I've been hearing the same thing, but just hearing it at that particular time, man, I went cold turkey. No 12-step program, no none of that. I ain't have to get talked to by God. That man stood over me and told me that, and I said, I'm done. I went straight home. I threw away my drugs. I threw away my cigarettes. I threw away the medicine I was taking. I threw away everything, man, and I changed my life.
And then what your plan was, I'm saying, you had a plan, or you just like, boy, I know one thing, I'm finna stop doing this
Yeah, I didn't even have a plan. I threw everything away and I sat down. And I talk about this a lot in all the podcasts. I couldn't get an erection because all of the side effects of the high blood pressure medication that I was on. Yeah. So in order for me to get a hard on, I used to have to stop the medication and snort me a line of cocaine. And that'd give me a hard on. So basically, I used to always Google natural ways to get an erection because I knew that the side effects from the medication is the reason why I couldn't get an erection. Yeah. So what I did was when I got home and I threw away everything and I threw away the drugs, I sat down on the couch and I'm like, man, I can't keep taking this stuff. I threw everything away. I'm like, look, let me just Google natural ways to get an erection, natural ways to get rid of scar tissue on your heart, natural ways to actually heal the kidneys because these were all the things that was going on with me. So a white man, a Caucasian, an Anglo-Saxon, he ended up popping up, right? And I couldn't feel what he was really saying. So after that, YouTube has something when the video go off. It's and guess who popped up? Dr. Sebi, skinny bald head man with a gray beard, talking about he healed HIV, sickle cell anemia, AIDS, leukemia, and at the time I'm thinking this Negro lying through his teeth.
Could I ask what year was that?
I mean, all this is 2008, 2009. I've been doing this for more than 12 years. So all this is around the same time. So look, check this out. So I end up listening to him and there's certain things he said that struck my spirit. I'm like, man, even though it don't sound like it's believable, it don't sound like he lying. So I said, let me keep listening. Man, I listened, bro. I started this is probably like 6 p.m. because I started when the sun was going down, bro. I literally listened to him for 48 hours straight, did not go to sleep, watched every video. I knew his wife's name. I knew his children's name. I knew all the herbs he be using.
Fully invested.
Man, fully invested. So I ended up getting a number to the fig tree where his wife, my eye, was working at the time. I'm blowing that mug up. I'm trying to get help.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? But I could. She was so busy, I couldn't get help. So I finally did talk to somebody and I talked to my eye. And I'm like, look, I'd send you some money, just give me a few herbs or something to mix up. So she started, giving me suggestions on certain types of herbs. So I took that, bought the herbs, and then looking at the herbs, I felt connected, man. I felt connected with myself. I felt connected with the herbs. So I said, man, look, I'm finna take a herbology course. So I ended up getting into a few courses. I ended up studying biochemistry, getting certifications for that. And I ended up getting my master herbalist certificate. I got like 4 of them. And these things are actually notified with the AGHG, like the herbal guidelines. Like I'm actually a master herbalist. You can look me up, and I'm tied to MDs and NDs.
Okay, this is real certificate.
It's documented.
Yeah, it's real. It's real. It's real. It's real. So, man, after that, as I'm doing that though, I'm playing with herbs because when you in these classes, it's something called a media course that they make you turn in, where they make you go out and actually participate in like herb wildcrafting. They make you go identify herbs in your neighborhood. They make you go to your local botanical park, and they make you literally identify raw herbs. So I'm doing this, and I had to have 100 hours of this stuff, just clinical trials. So I'm learning herbs, I'm learning dandelions. So I'm picking herbs, learning herbs, buying herbs, and I ended up mixing up my own concoction, man. And I was on it for 120 days. But after about 93, 92 days, I didn't have diabetes no more. I didn't have scar tissue on my heart. My kidneys was functioning at 100% because my kidney was only functioning at 72% when I went in the hospital.
But brother, after 3 months?
Yeah, after 3 months. So that's why when you be hearing Sebi say his story, I know he not lying.
Yeah, exactly.
Because I went through the same exact thing. It just took me longer to heal. Took me a little bit longer than him. But I know he wasn't lying because I went through the same exact thing. Like how you said he woke up and his was hard. I woke him as hell. Couldn't get hard at first. I used to have to do all types of stuff because the medicine. So once that medicine was out of me though, I didn't have none of them issues. And I'm like, damn, it's the medicine. It's what I've been eating. It's what I've been putting in my body. And then once that happened, I'm like, hold on. Who made the food? I ain't making this food.
Yeah.
Who made this damn medicine? I ain't making the medicine. Who making the liquor? I don't own a liquor store. I don't own none of this stuff. How did I get, I've been to prison. Who made these damn guns?
Yeah.
I ain't never been to Russia. How do I got a Russian AK-47? So that's when I started realizing, damn, we are put in an environment that wasn't built by us, and we are made to not thrive in this environment. So if I can create my own environment, it will change my cells and change my biology. And once I did that, man, I changed. My mindset changed. Everything about me pleomorphosized into something that was like greater. I found purpose and I didn't even know my purpose before that. I thought I was gonna be a rapper, man. I can rap and sing. Yeah, I was on tours. Like yeah, I'm thinking, I thought I was gonna be your average Negro. Yeah,
Yeah.
Man, that changed my whole trajectory of life, man. I didn't even want to be a healer. I tried to walk away from it, and the Most High made me lose everything. And the Most High told me, if you don't follow this path, I'm gonna make you lose everything. I lost everything. I was damn near homeless, man. until I started walking and following my purpose, man. And now I'm here.
Man, Yahki, man, that's a hell of a story right there, Yahki.
Yeah.
But Yahki, I got a question to ask you, man, because we think once we eat something and put it in our belly full, that's food.
Mm-hmm.
So I gotta ask you, because it might sound like a dumb question, but obviously for me watching your video, we probably don't even know what food is.
Yeah.
So I need to ask you, what is food?
So food, by definition, by a melanin cosmic definition, because there's many definitions and there's many different types of perspective of life. So I like to speak from a perspective of where we come from. I don't believe we come from the earth. I believe our bodies is made of the earth, but I believe that we have spiritual bodies, and I believe that half of our cells come from what they would call other dimensions of densities. So coming from a cosmic melanated being point of view, food is anything that you put in your body that gives you fuel. But the fuel have to be mental fuel, brain power fuel, and it have to be fuel to sustain and power off ATP in your cells.
But hold up, I can try to cut you off, but if I go to McDonald's and go get me a number one, I might be tired, but that Big Mac gonna get me back live again. I probably gonna go for 3-4 more hours.
But that's called a stimulant. So you have stimulants like coffee. Coffee beans are stimulants. It's the caffeine. It gives you the illusion that it gives you energy when it's really not. You see what I'm saying? So straight up illusion.
Yeah.
So food is something that gives the cells fuel. If it don't give the cell fuel, and if it don't evolve the cells or make the cells thrive and give the cells the adequate amount of energy, then we can't call it food. Food have to rebuild the cells. Food have to create an environment for the cells to detoxify. Food have to create an environment where the cells can bring in more oxygen to form ATP, which is adenosine triphosphate. So if food is not doing them three simple things, it goes higher than that. Mm-hmm. If it ain't doing them three simple things, it is not food. Half the food that we are eating is deprived of minerals. It's not only deprived of minerals, but it's deprived of its DNA and its genomes because they're genetically modifying the food. Yeah. And if it ain't that, then they spraying herbicides, pesticides, insecticides on the food, which is causing cancer, breast cancer, brain cancer, all types of prostate cancer inside of men. So if the food is robbing you of energy, you can't call it food, because food supposed to give you energy. It's supposed to give you fuel. So the food that we have been programmed to think is food don't have no phytonutrients that yield the body energy. It's an illusion. It's a stimulant. You think that you're getting energy from these foods, but you're not. Truth.
Okay, so give me like an example of a food that we might, an everyday person would like eat and get an idea that, yo, like something like, you know what I mean? Something more like, what can we, like, give me an idea of a food that we eat.
That's not food.
That is food.
That is food. Yeah. Your fruits, your berries, your melons, your greens.
But the fruits we get around nowadays don't even have seeds in it. So
them are called genetically modified foods. You know, and I want to keep it clear too and keep it scientific. Some foods and some fruits and vegetables in nature, especially fruits, you can find where, you know, by happenstance and nature go through its own things where nature will genetically modify something too, just like nature will cause things to hybrid. A lot of people don't want to talk about that, but you have natural hybrided foods, and you have natural genetically modified fruits in nature that happens by nature. Like for instance, seedless grapes. A lot of people think that seedless grapes was actually a white man coming and taking all the seeds out of the grapes.
That's what I'm thinking.
But no, if you actually study and see how seedless grapes was created, somebody literally found grapes on a vineyard. All the other hundreds of the grapes had seeds in them, and they found a few that just didn't have the seeds. Mm-hmm. You see that? Now, this is what gave them the idea on how to regrow these things with the seeds not in them. So the first idea of it, now, don't get me twisted. Don't go buy
a seedless grape.
Yeah, a seedless grape. Yeah. I'm just trying to show you how it's possible through nature. And we get most of our ideas through nature. You see what I'm saying? Right. So fruits, berries, and melons. These are famous. These things give the body fructose. Fructose is a simple, what they call monosaccharide, and that's what we need. And that's why it's important that we have podcasts and we speak on things like this, is because our bodies is different than a Caucasian's body. Our body is different than an Asian's body. Our biochemical molecular structure is different. So it requires us to have a different type of fuel and food for the cells of the body. And it just so happened to be, when you look at us, we closely assimilate with primates, and primates eat fruits. They eat vegetables, they eat berries, and they eat
apes.
Primates, gorillas.
Gorillas, okay.
Yeah. Now you got some apes eat anything, but I'm specifically talking about gorillas.
Okay.
Why you suggest that we juice our fruits instead of drinking water?
Because so So now we get into something. So this is basically talking about the CHO arrangement. So you have 3 types of water, to be honest with you. So you have a water called hydrogen peroxide, that is H2O2.
H2, okay.
H2O2.
Oh.
Yeah, so that's hydrogen peroxide. Your body make this water. You have another water actually called H2O. That's what you get from spring beds or all this fake water that is actually being sterilized and produced by these water companies.
Yeah.
And then you have another natural accumulating water that's in your fruits and your vegetable called H3O2.
H3,
so the same thing with food. Food's supposed to come with amino acids. Food's supposed to come with its own DNA. Food's supposed to come with its own sugar supply to yield energy throughout the cellular mechanism. The same thing is supposed to happen with your water. Your water is supposed to have certain types of amino acids in them. Your water is supposed to have electrolytes and minerals in them. You can get that from a spring bed, but the amino acids that come from spring water come from the fish that's in the water. That's where you get the DNA in the water from. So we trying to find the DNA that comes from the water itself. The only substance on planet Earth that does that is the fruit. The fruit is the only food on earth that have DNA, that have amino acids, that have minerals in it, that have electrolytes in it, and that is very, very high when it comes to yielding energy. So they test foods with this meter, and they test them by something called 10 angstroms of 10 units of energy, and it yields something called an angstrom, a measurement. So 10 units, if you eat 10 units of a fruit, it yields 12,000 angstroms of energy. If you eat 10 units of a vegetable, it only yields 9,000 angstroms of energy. If you do the same thing with meat, it only yields 3,000 angstroms of energy. And then things like McDonald's yield 0, no energy. Yeah. So if you look at a highly expanded consciousness like so-called black people, we have something in our brains called melanin neurotransmitters. Nobody else have these melanin neurotransmitters but dolphins and primates. They have eumelanin, but they don't have neuromelanin. We have neuromelanin. We need a fuel to keep that autonomic nervous system or the enteric nervous system moving and functioning properly. It's called the parasympathetic and the sympathetic nervous system. That needs fuel to fire off. The only thing that can truly, truly fire that off and regenerate neural cells is fruits. It's not vegetables, nor is it all the meats and all these other things.
Broke it down nice, man.
So this is what I'm saying. So if that food is only firing, if that food simulates with melanin neurotransmitters and nobody else have melanin neurotransmitters but dolphins and blue whales is in the sea, they ain't eating fruits, berries, and melons. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? So who is that food particularly for? That fruit is for us. So and then look, this is the crazy part. Look into nature. You will see birds, right? They call the fowl kingdom. You will see a vulture. A vulture eat only roadkill. It loves meat. You won't see a vulture eating berries and stuff like that. A hawk love fish. An eagle love fish. You have a bird kingdom and you have birds that only eat meat. Then you got another bird that's called the hummingbird, and the only thing it eats is nectar, syrup. It eats tree sap. Then you have something like a parakeet that only eats fruits. You see that? Then you got another bird that only eat nuts and seeds. That's all they eat. They mono eat. They have a mono diet. But all of them are part of the bird kingdom. Then you have something called a lion. A lion that's in the jungle. It likes to eat gazelles. It likes to eat hyenas. Then you have a mountain lion that loves to eat fish, that loves to eat other quails. So it's eating different things, and the geographical location of these animals is different. Same thing as reptiles. So you have all these different classifications of animals based off their geographical location, based off the anatomy of their body, and based off the actual physiology structure, even though they're classified as birds, classified as felines, classified as carnivores, they eat something different. Then we get to the human race, and you have indigenous brothers and sisters of America. You have indigenous brothers and sisters of Africa. Then you have Caucasians. Then you have Asians. How in the hell we eat the same thing. Yeah. But don't no other creature on planet Earth eat the same thing, and all of them are in different geographical locations, and they look different.
That makes sense.
That's why we sick, because we eating like another people. Yeah, our mindset is like another people. We following traditions, we following religion, we following all types of these different teachings and programmings that's been put on us by our oppressors, and that's why we sick, because we eat like them and we're biologically different.
Yeah, and that's the thing right there. I was going to ask you right now. So basically, some of the foods we're eating right now is probably bad for us, but good for them.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't even say good for them, because if you look at all life, even if if all life started with the creation of melanated beings, right? Mm-hmm. And so you have two theories. You have the creation theory, which is the black man created the white man. And then you have another creation theory, which was they spun from us. They're a mutation of us.
They went to the mountains and
even look. So even let's play with both theories, right? Yeah. Even if we play with both of these theories, they still came from a black man. Yeah. Whether the so-called black man created them, or whether they pleomorphed and mutated from us, they still came from us. Mm-hmm. So if we gonna play with that theory like that, then the highest level of diet for them will be our diet. It would be the same diet.
The origin is us.
Exactly. Now I will say this though, since they are different, their molecular structure is different and their biochemistry is different. Like for instance, the hydrochloric acid inside of their stomach is hotter than ours. They have something called salivary secretions inside of their mouth that is hotter than ours. You know, we produce something called amylase or amylose trypsin. It is an alkaline enzyme reaction inside of ours. So meaning that the secretion inside of our mouths is supposed to break down alkaline food. You know, theirs is much hotter than ours. The hydrochloric acid is much hotter than ours. The way they teeth and structure is built narrow and they sharper at the tips. Ours is more flat and wide. If you even look at our cranial structures, their heads is bigger than ours. Ours is more elongated than theirs. So if you look at them in a cave history, it's like that their body was molded and shaped for survival and to eat meat. But if you look at ours wouldn't. It looked like we was literally shaped to eat fruits from trees. That's why they nose or snouted and pointed the way they is. And notice they nostrils is towards the ground. Look at our nose. Our nostrils goes out. Mm-hmm. So it shows you that even the climate and the heights of the climates was different, because they was in the mountains. They was under the ground. We was on the plains. And so everything about us is different than them. Our brains are bigger than theirs. Their nails is even different than ours. You know, a lot of them grow tails. Did y'all know that? A lot of them, you can Google it right now.
Yahki, I used to be caught up in that real.
So you know what I'm telling the truth.
Heard about that before.
Reptiles, and all that. Man, I had to run away from that shit, man.
But so now I'm not even talking about reptilian, because I mean, if we're gonna keep it real, everybody have a reptilian brain. Yes, if you can Google it, you have 3 brains. The stem of your brain is called the reptilian brain. Then you have another brain called the mammalian brain, the mammal brain. Then after that, you get the frontal lobe, and you get all these other different lobes, the left and the right hemisphere. So the basis of your spinal cord that goes up into your brain that connects to your pods, what they call the 12 cranium nerves, that is a reptilian brain. And all the reptilian brain is responsible for is basically fight or flight, sleep, reproducing, and eating. It's called your animalistic nature, your reptilianistic nature.
That's what it's called.
So yeah, we all have that though. You see what I'm saying? So I'm specifically just talking about people growing tails.
Yeah.
Yes, the Indians grow tails. Over there in India, they grow tails. Caucasian men grow tails. They can wiggle them and everything. They move. So when you look, all I'm trying to say is this without making people think I'm being racist. When you look at them on a scientific level, they are closely associated with animals more than us. We are human beings. You have mankind and you have kinds of man. We are mankind. There's kinds of men out here. And then the diets is different based off the biology.
And Yahki, you think, yeah, we're not trying to be racist, but you think they know that kind of stuff?
Yeah, they know this stuff, man. Who you think putting this in the peer review scholarly articles? They writing this stuff up. Yeah. They writing this in their universities. We ain't writing this. They writing it. Mm-hmm. They study themselves.
But Yahki, and the next thing too, I got to ask you, man, because we went to school and every single person in here must have seen the what's it called, the food pyramid?
Yeah, the food pyramid.
And you told me it's like one of the biggest lies. When I seen that, I'm like, come on now, Yahki, man.
We gotta throw that away.
All these doctors, they come out and call this out.
Man, that food pyramid, what's on there? You got your protein.
Diarrhea.
You got your dairy. You got your grains.
Yeah.
Grains are some of the worst things you can put in your body. Grains are some of the worst things. Wheat, especially wheat. Wheat has a protein called wheat germ agglutinin in it.
But brother, everything they make right now, vegan, is soy.
Yes, and soy makes men effeminate. Like very effeminate. So yeah,
I wanted to ask you how you feel about plant-based.
So I mean, I'm plant-based vegan. So when you start talking about things like vegan, I'm not a vegan. I'm not a vegan. I hate that word. The vegan movement is a very, very bad movement right now.
Talk to us, explain to us, man.
So I'm gonna be what you would call organic plant-based eater, meaning I eat things that grow straight from the actual ground, right? Them the things that I will eat. So you have this vegan movement where they giving you basically falsified meat. They making meats in laboratories. They changing the colors of these meats, and they trying to basically convince you that these things are meat without it being meat. In order to make these things are literally made and fabricated in laboratories by scientists. Then they pushing the soy movement. Soy beans is crazy. For one, they are not fermenting the soy long enough. You know what I'm saying? Soy supposed to be fermented at least 5 to 6 years. What they do is they ferment it for about 2 summers and then they put it on our people's plate. These things actually are come compacted with something you would call phytoestrogen. I call it cytoestrogen because it becomes a cytotoxins inside the cells. These things actually robs the body because it's full of phytic acid. What phytic acid does is it binds minerals and chemistry in the body. It's called a mineral inhibitor. So the main mineral that it binds in the body is called iron phosphate. Well, just like I was talking about, each individual classification of human have their own different diet. Each individual classification of humans have their own different mineral too. So the so-called black man mineral is iron phosphate. The white man mineral is calcium monophosphate. Then the Asian mineral is zinc and iodine. So guess what soy do? It inhibits and blocks the uptake of all the minerals I just mentioned. And it is high in something called oxalates, meaning that it will pull calcium from the bone calcium matrix and it will bind calcium together. So most people walking around, a lot of people that's vegan and start getting a lot of gout and stuff or getting arthritis and they don't know why. And it's because of the soy is inhibiting the iron uptake. Without iron, you cannot get oxygen because iron is what actually grabs oxygen from the air and attaches to something called hemoglobin in the blood. Mm-hmm. You know, and then what happens is carbon dioxide snatches that oxygen from the hemoglobin and it takes it through a Krebs cycle. And that's how you get energy or what you call ATP through the mitochondria of the cell. So the cells need to breathe. The cells can't breathe without iron phosphate. Guess what's snatching and robbing iron phosphate from the body? Soy. It's a straight inhibitor. It blocks all the uptake of all the minerals. Zinc. You can't synthesize new proteins or new amino acids without zinc. Zinc is used to actually make the conductivity fluid in your nervous system. Iodine is what get converted over into iodide, and you need that for your thyroid. The thyroid is the gear shift of your body. The thyroid is called the basal temperature. It regulates your temperature. It regulates your heartbeat. It regulates your pituitary gland. Your pituitary gland regulates your sexual hormones. Your sexual hormones is made from cholesterol. So all of these different minerals that is being blocked and not synthesized by soy is actually causing the body to shut down slowly but surely. And then we got to talk about the oxalates, meaning it's binding all of the calcium inside of the body. So we got a lot of vegans that's super unhealthy and that's more unhealthy than people eating regular meat.
Yep. Yeah.
You might as well stay on the meat and die quicker that way. Yeah. Because now you're dying. Now you're dying long. It's taking you longer to die, but you're in more pain. You suffering more because you eating food that ain't even real. At least the person that's eating real meat that's been sprayed on, that's got antibiotics put in it. But you eating fabricated meat made in laboratories, and then you're eating other substances that's not made for your body. Soy is not made for human consumption. Soy is made for animal production consumption, just like dairy products. Dairy products is made for baby calves. It's not made for human beings. Yo mama got a titty for a reason. Why are we sucking on the titty of a goat and of a cow when our mama had a breast? You don't see them giving birth to a baby calf and then the cow is knocking on your door and giving the mama the baby calf and telling, and it don't. Have you ever seen a baby calf suck on a human mama titty? But we sucking on theirs. You know, and what they do is they disassociate shit. So instead of putting that actual nipple in your mouth, one of them tits in your mouth, they're going to put it in this beautiful carton. They're going to put a blue, you know, they call it 2%. They put a little blue cap on it and they make it look pretty for you.
Nice logo.
Yeah, but you sucking on pus, you sucking on blood.
Yeah, facts.
If y'all understand the compositions that make up breast milk and some of the nasty, you're literally sucking on the lymphatic system of a cow. And it's made to make 2-ton mammals. And we wonder why our children are obese. We wonder why we seeing 6 months that look like 3-year-olds. And then we putting them on Similac and all these baby formulas that's full of soy and that's full of all these different dairy byproducts, man. We eating food that's not food, man. That's what's going on. We sick because of the food. We sick because of the air. We sick because of the water. We sick because of the environment. We have to come together and figure out how to change the environment. So it's Yahki, the environment.
So Yahki, I gotta ask you some more, cause I see some, you know what I mean? I can't, some of the questions I didn't check my phone, but I seen you saying corn was a good thing to eat.
Corn? I never said corn was a good thing. Hell no. Nah. Hold on. For on the record, I've never said that in my life. I don't know where brother got that from. No.
All right.
Corn is the worst thing to eat. Now,
of course, because I seen you saying, I'm like, damn, that went against what Sebi was saying, because it was a couple things. No,
you seen me saying it, brother. Okay, I've never said. Okay. Yeah, okay, brother.
I seen something about corn. Okay, so I gotta get it.
Yeah, you seen me talking bad about corn.
All right. Okay, what about mucus? Because I seen you say that mucus is not really the
mucus is not the cause of the disease, nor mucus is bad. Mucus is not bad.
So there's a couple of things that I seen what Dr. Sebi said, and I seen. So I guess I'm wrong about the corn. I gotta go find what I said exactly. But the mucus, that one kind of threw me off because I was like, okay, so mucus is the cause of all disease. Okay.
No, mucus is not.
Okay, so talk to me about
without the mucus membrane, you couldn't live, you couldn't breathe. The mucus membrane is what actually protects the body and the skin from the outward external environment. What mucus is made in your body to actually, so mucus come from a slime. So when you look at mucus, it literally say slime.
Yeah.
That's what it is. Yeah. This slime is made of this thick substance that's literally made of mucus, goblet cells, and it's actually made of T cells, B cells. It's made of neutrophils, monophils, and it have something called macrophages in it. All of these things I just mentioned is what they say make up the immune system. The immune system is supposed to fight against pathological entities in the body, right? So that's what the immune system, ain't that what y'all been taught in school? Yeah. So this is my question then. If the mucous membrane is bad, then why does the mucous membrane have its own food supply called monosaccharide sugars? If it's so bad, then why every time a foreign invader entered the body, mucus come and get it stuck in the body, right? If it's so bad, then why, when you need to go through a detoxification symptom, what mucus does is it overpopulates in the body and it causes you to have flu and cold-like symptoms. Mucus is not bad. We are looking at mucus wrong, just like we look at disease wrong. We have to change the perspective on how we look at disease. If you coughing, somebody will say that you are getting sick, so you will actually go to the doctor, and what they would do is they will give you cough suppressive therapy and give you cough syrup. So that's the allopathic way of looking at the cough, as it is a disease. What happened if we took a different approach and we say, dang, you're coughing, and actually cough, go into nature, let your body go through these things, and you will see that it's to break up coagulated mucus that's in the chest. And the reason why mucus is built up in the chest is because mucus is taking a hold of dust particles that you're breathing in. Mucus is taking a hold of minerals that haven't been used or uptaked in the body. Mucus is taking on pathological entities like different pleomorphic bacteria. And then once it's time to expectorate the mucus, that's when you start seeing mucus coming out. The only reason why everybody is saying mucus is a cause of disease is because whenever you see so-called disease, you see mucus. You see that? If any time a crime happened and you caught me around a crime, you're going to automatically say this robbing people. Yeah. He's a criminal. Yeah. But what happened if I'm actually saving the people from the crime? So it's about, listen to what I'm saying. Why we can't change the perception? Hold on, I see Yahki every time there's a robbery. He must be the robber. But then you have a bright soul like me that come every 12,000 years that say, you know what? Maybe Yahki ain't the robber. Maybe he's the one trying to stop the robber. And he just know where this robber gonna be at every time. Same thing with mucus. Mucus is there when it needs to be there, because mucus is actually, it's a part of something called the lymphatic system. So the body is made of 150 trillion cells. So the blood is what feeds the cells of the body. Then you have the nervous system, which commands and communicates with the cells of the body. Then you have something called the lymphatic system that actually cleanses the cells of the body. So the lymphatic system is the sewage system of the body. So your body have organelles, just like, so your cells have organelles and your body have organs. So you have a stomach, you have a digestive system, you have a heart, you have a liver, you have a brain. Your cells have a brain. It's literally called the cellular membrane. Your cells have a bladder. It's called the vacuole. Your cells have a digestive system. It's called the exosome and the lysosome. Your cell have a respiratory system. It's called the mitochondria. You see that? Your cells have a skeleton system. It's literally called the skeletal system of the cell. So if you eat, that means your cells have to eat. When you eat something in the macro, you have to go defecate. You got to go to the bathroom, right? So what happens when your cells eat food? They gotta poop just like us? Yeah. So what the lymphatic system or what the mucus membrane is there for is to pick up the toxins and the byproduct of the metabolic waste from your cells pooping.
Damn.
So what happened if the mucous membrane wasn't there? What happened if the lymphatic system didn't exist? Where would all go? It would sit on top of the cells and you would go septic.
Yeah.
That means that you will get backed up. And not only is you getting backed up, you're getting backed up with toxemia. Toxemia is full of acidic waste. Acids burn. So now you got poop sitting on top of the cells, burning the cells. The first thing it's going to burn is all the fuel and oxygen out of the cells. When the body lacks oxygen, that's when you start seeing so-called disease, cellular mutation. So there is no such thing as disease. The body has the miraculous capability of healing itself. We just been taught that since Yahki is around every time there's a robber, Yahki is the robber.
Yeah.
So just because you got a cold and you have a cough, you have a fever and you have flu-like symptoms, that's not a disease. That's the body going through symptomologies to purge and heal itself. And then it stimulates the mucosa membrane, for the mucosa membrane can expectorate, move throughout the body, pick up all the toxemias and all the dead cells through apoptosis. And then it's going to find something called a fontanelle, an alternative route of elimination. It's going to look for your nose. It's going to look for your mouth. It's going to look for your ears. It's going to look for your eyes. It's going to go through your head. It's going to come out your anus. It's going to come out the tip of your penis. It's going to come out your vagina. Wherever this mucus is coming from, they got a disease for it. If it come out the vagina, they say she have a discharge. If they see any type of bacteria, they say she have bacteria vaginosis. Yeah. If it come out the tip of the penis, they say you have a urinary tract infection. If it come out your head, they say you have dandruff problem. If it come out your mouth, they say you have bronchitis. If it come out your nose, they say you have a nasal inflammation issue. If it come out your eyes, or if it stay on your eyes and calcify, they say you got glaucoma or cataracts.
Yeah.
So wherever the mucus is coming out at, they're giving it a disease, and they're not telling you the truth, which is the body's supposed to do that anyway. And if you just let this mucus expectorate, you won't have all the symptomologies and the body will heal itself. Then what they do is they give you a drug for it and suppress the mucus back in the body. When mucus is overproduced in the body, it covers the cells. If you cover your mouth with a pillow right now, you gonna die because you're gonna stop breathing. Yeah. Imagine this thick substance covering the cells, and the mitochondria of the cells act as the lungs of the cells, and it's covering up the cells. How is the cells going to burn oxygen to turn it to carbon dioxide, to turn that back into H2O to actually give the mitochondria fuel? It can't, because it can't breathe. It's not getting oxygen. So now the cells die, and they call this apoptosis or cellular death. And then when all of your cells die, you die. Mm-hmm. So where's the disease?
So what was it that Dr. Sebi must have seen wrong? What did he get wrong to think that, you know what I mean, to say that?
So
because I believe that once I heard it, I was like, damn, mucus is disease. So anything I said, boy, disease ain't nothing, boy. Ain't nothing called disease. It's just mucus. I feel like I knew something. I felt smart saying something because I heard Sebi say that.
So I would say this because, first off, RIP to that great. So I want to do a moment of silence for him. Let's bow our heads for him for a few seconds. So this is what I say to the late great Dr. Sebi.
Yes.
I wouldn't say he was wrong. I just think his perception and perspective was different than mine. And I think that if he was alive now, he'd be patting me on the back for all the great work that I'm doing, because I am evolving and I'm changing the knowledge to fit us in this generation. Mm-hmm. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Don't nobody got it all. I don't have it all figured out.
Mm-hmm.
Dr. Sebi did not have it all figured out.
Thanks.
Dr. Layla Africa did not have it all figured out. Mm-hmm. Fred Hampton did not have it all figured out.
Yeah.
Dr. Amos Wilson did not have it all figured out. So we have all these doctors, we have all of these philosophers that's coming along, and what we're doing is we're building foundations on top of each other.
Yeah.
I don't have it all figured out. There's going to be somebody that come and they're going to evolve my work.
Yeah.
I hope they do.
Yeah.
When information dies with a person, they did a piss poor job at teaching.
Facts, boy.
So that means Dr. Sebi was a magnificent teacher because his information didn't die and stay limited where it's at. Now you have a bunch of limited Sabian minds though that try to limit his work and only stick to what he said. But I feel like that's doing Dr. Sebi a disservice.
Yes.
To try to keep him where he was at.
Yeah.
No, have a spark in your mind and have some type of to yourself and have some type of critical thinking analysis to yourself and be able to transform and transcend the information.
And build on top of what he left.
Boom. And look, check this out. And this is how you know he's great. Because if he wouldn't have never laid that first foundational brick, I couldn't have built the house.
That's
you get what I'm saying? So he's the cornerstone to everything that I'm building now. But people will look at me and say I'm always talking about Dr. Sebi when I never said nothing bad against that man a day in my life. Of course, I disagree with a lot of things he said.
I ain't never hear you say nothing bad.
You see that?
Disagree. Or not even disagree. You just said that. You just had different point of view.
Yeah, you got your own thought of you got your own outlook on it.
We living in a society. If you have a different perspective, it's a disagreement. Yeah, you see what I'm saying? And it ain't that. So again, I'm gonna say this: if it wasn't for Dr. Sebi being that cornerstone, I would not be able to build the house that I am building right now. So I mean, if we can we give Dr. Sebi a applause, man?
Right.
Yeah, man.
Okay, so I got a next one for you, Yahki. As a little boy growing up, right? You know, we Jamaican, so some of the time we used to have like red dirt, and messing around, we used to eat some of it some of the times. Yeah, and they told us it was good for us.
Yeah, so it is. Dirt is good. You made of it.
All right. So I be seeing like some of these like, Africans, Haiti. That looks kind of fatal to me because I see them eating mud cookies.
Mud pies. Mud pies. Mud pies.
And they actually surviving off of it.
Yeah, but you said a key word though. You said surviving. They not thriving off of it. They surviving off of it. But yet and still, it is sustaining their molecular structure though. Why is that, huh? If you look and
is the mud pies? Is that food? Would that consider more?
I mean, it's something because it's sustaining them, but you can be sustained and you can survive off of McDonald's for 20 years. So it's still the same situation, but I think it's better that I will eat a mud pie before I eat a burger at Burger King.
Okay, all right.
Because at least that dirt come from the soil of the ground. And when you check the chemical composition of that soil, so especially in Africa, even though you have the French and the Caucasian, Beijing, Belgium and all of them out there robbing the hell out of Africa for all of her minerals and resources, when you check that dirt and you check that mud, it's so many different minerals. That's some of the richest soil in the world. Yahki. So man, no mud pies probably got more nutrients than our vegan food out here. I'm gonna be honest with you. You see what I'm saying? So when you get into that, I used to eat dirt pies. Being imagined, playing in my yard. It ain't never killed me. But if you look at what dirt does, these are same things that we grow. We plant a seed in, we put the water on top of it, let the sun hit it, and life spring forth from it. So obviously there's some type of energetic reactions and some type of mineralizations in dirt that we need. So I mean, I think that's a good idea.
Okay. All right, I got a next one for you now, right? I'm a skeptical dude. If I see too much of anything, I start raising my eyebrows at it. Yeah. So all this what's this now? Seaweed? What's it called?
Sea moss. Sorry, sea moss. Yeah. So
I mean, I'm from Jamaica. They say we got the best sea moss, but for some reason, I feel like the sea moss got some kind of gimmick to it, man.
Now it does. Now you don't get me twisted. You still got certain sacred places that haven't been tapped by a large variety of people.
That still got some real.
That still got some real stuff. Yeah. So, but all together, I'm gonna just say this: sea moss is not the strongest seed plant in the sea, period. Even if you had fresh, even if it wasn't pollutants, even if they wasn't pool growing it now, because now there's pool growing sea moss, especially crispy crungus. Yes, they are pool growing it.
They're farming it.
They're growing it in pools. They're forming it.
What? A lot of the sea moss is cat,
man. Especially in Jamaica, though. Hold on. Especially in Jamaica.
Listen, that's Jamaica. They love money. So they're going to do it. Yeah. Once it's money, I know they're going to do it. So.
Yeah. So this is what I would say about the sea moss. Just be careful. Know what to look for, but it's kind of hard to identify because there's so many different groups and classifications of sea moss. There's a lot of different ones. You have spaghetti string sea moss. You have sea moss that swell up when you put it in water. You have sea moss that shrink when you put it in water. You have sea moss that's short. You got sea moss that's long. You have purple sea moss. You have gold sea moss. You have sea moss that's green sometimes. You have sea moss that's mixed with different colors. You have crispy crungus. You have so many different classifications of sea moss. Sea moss is not the all in all or the end all. You have club moss. You have dose. You see what I'm saying? You have kelp. Kelp have more minerals than sea moss in it, especially more iodine. You see what I'm saying? So I just think since Dr. Sebi got super big and, you know, the black community, so-called black community finally seen another Messiah and another superhero, everything he said, we took it and we just ran with it. Yes. When you actually do your research and study, there's more different sea vegetables and sea plants that actually uptake more minerals than sea moss. So I'm not in the sea moss game. I do sell sea moss. I get mine from the St. Thomas Blue Sea. It's a good source of sea moss, but you don't see me spinning it and repping it like that because, for one, if you have herpes, I can't even give you golden sea moss because the high amounts of arginine that's in it, and it actually causes you to expectorate and it gives you outbreaks. You see what I'm saying? So a lot of people don't even understand the chemical compositions of sea moss. You see, and then I'm not a big pusher of sea moss. Yeah. I sell it in this holistic form. I sell it organic. I sell it grown from a rock, not in a pool. But there's other sea vegetables that's stronger than sea moss. Those, club moss, you got kelp, you got bladderwrack, or what they call fucus. There's so many different sea plants that have more minerals than sea moss. It is, you know. Now, Honduran sea moss, you getting it from Sebi. I'm pretty sure it was a good sea moss. He growing it in there where you see all of this different volcanic water. So Sebi created an environment where it was straight high levels of healing. You got sulfur water coming from volcanic streams. He's growing herbal trees throughout the land. He didn't have to leave to get food. Everything was on the land. When you're creating an environment like that and you starting to see natural Honduran sea moss getting grown from these certain areas, they're going to have uptake minerals that's better than other sea mosses just because the environment that is truly in. So I see why he was, you know, pushing it on the people so hard because he had that you know what I'm saying? But man, the way sea moss is now, I question it all. Yeah.
How do you feel about the like a moringa seed?
I love moringa. Moringa seed. So if you get it, the moringa seed is a powerful. It's amazing.
Okay. All right.
Oh man, I love the moringa. The moringa tree.
Yeah, you know, I think we just put it on our tongue and suck on it. And they say that's would be good because
the moringa. So the moringa does something. It opens up something called the NRF2 pathways in the cells. The moringa combats cancer. The moringa cleanses the actual body of chemotherapy. The moringa kicks on something called glutathione inside of the cells to help the cells purge. It kicks on something called acetylcholine. It uptakes actual enzyme called acetylcholine nesterase, will help you expectorate from the cells. So moringa scream detoxification. I love moringa. And moringa actually come from the vegetable family as broccoli, cabbage, and all of these other different things. They all from the same exact family. So broccoli? I love the moringa. Yeah, broccoli. Yeah.
But they said broccoli ain't real.
Who said broccoli ain't real? Broccoli is a hybrid. So that's what I'm saying. We have to be careful. From saying broccoli is not GMO.
My bad.
Broccoli is a hybrid.
Okay. They said there's only one nut. Well, not they said. Dr. Sebi said there's only one nut. I guess he said it was walnut.
I mean, I can. And what about Brazilian nuts? Brazilian nut is.
Am I wrong? That's what he said. He did say.
I don't know, bro.
Okay. Well,
and look, I don't want to turn this into like a Yahki because everybody will take this different if we say Yahki said and then Dr. Sebi said. Okay. You see what I'm saying? So I don't want to turn it. Yeah, I don't want to turn it into that.
Let me fix that then.
Yahki, what's the three bitters? What's that?
The three bitters is a concept of just you basically mixing up bitters to go after all the systems in the body. So we have bitter 1, bitter 2, bitter 3. Bitter 1 cleanses nervous system, lymphatic system. Bitter 2 cleanses the nerves, cleanses the cells, cleanses the endocrine system. Then you have bitter 3, which is cleanses the gut and it cleanses the bowel wall. So the bitters is basically you take these teas and these teas actually turns on the same thing that you was talking about with the moringa seeds, how it turns on the NFR2 pathways. Yes. It kicks on glutathione and it causes a purgatory effect on the body. You take them 3 bitters, you better stay in the house. You get on 3 bitters, you can be 10 pounds overweight. Give it 2 days, you gonna be 20 pounds underweight. You know what I'm saying?
Using the bathroom.
Yeah, man. Yeah. I ain't not even. Sometimes you throwing up, pooping. It's a purgatory effect on the body. A lot of people, they say a lot of people don't believe in detoxification no more. Everybody's getting super smart. They say you should cleanse the body and not detox the body. Cleansing the body is a slower way of detoxifying. I believe that we're in a day and age where there's too many pollutants and too many toxins in the air. So I think you should detox the body. I mean, you should attack it.
Yeah,
you should purge it. Poop, throw up. I want to see mucus coming from everywhere. I'm trying to bring you into cold and flu-like symptoms. I'm trying to give you the flu. Yeah. Because the flu is what's gonna get all that mucus up out of you. Once you get that mucus up out of you, guess what's attached to the mucus? all of the toxemia. That's why mucus is a defense and mucus is not the cause of all disease. If you can get the mucus out of the body, the mucus is going to take all the toxemia that it accumulated on its way out.
So how often would you tell somebody to detox?
Man, for real, every season now, I would say more than that. Now, every season, every 3 months, you should do a 12-day detox. Every season, every 3 months, every 90 days, do it for at least 12 days. And the reason why I'm saying that is because the whole entire environment is toxic. Think about it. The food is toxic. The air is toxic. The water is toxic. These things we got on our heads right now, they plug EMF frequencies. My cell phone, which is in my pocket.
Yeah.
You go home, you lay down in your bed, and your head is next to wall outlets. Then you got a router and Wi-Fi hooked up. I unplug all that shit before I go to sleep because you were literally getting your electrical magnetic grid of your body hacked into. And we didn't understand that these radio waves is permeating and shooting through our cells and changing the way our cells interact with other cells in our body. And this caused the coagulation of cells and blood. So a lot of people walking around with headaches and don't know where headaches coming from. A lot of people are walking around, especially women with fibroids, and don't know where these things is coming from. And it's actually coming from all the EMF frequency. Then we talking about BPA. BPA is in women bras now. BPA is in your drawers. It's called bisphenol. Bisphenol A. Bisphenol A. It's in your plastic bottles. This thing is it's one of the most cancerous causing. Pretty sure it's in your cup. And then inside that cup, do it have an aluminum foil inside of it?
No.
Okay, because it look like one of them. Okay, that's plastic. That one do.
Yeah.
Imagine putting heat in that. And then you starting to leak aluminum off into your drink. That's why they tell you when you have tea, don't use tea with a silver spoon. Don't use it with the aluminum spoon, or don't sit it in there for more than 2 minutes because you start leaking aluminum. And let's go back to the soy. And that's the reason why I think soy is bad, because how they harvest it. They harvest soy, they put millions of them into a barrel, and then they pour this acid on it to burn the top film off of it, and it start leaking aluminum into it. So most of your soybeans you check got high amounts of aluminum in it.
Damn.
On top of the phyto acid that I talked about, and on top of all these chemistry bonding agents I'm talking about. So I mean, the whole world is toxic. So you should be detoxifying and taking a blood purifier. I think at least you should drink at least a tea a day. So we should be taking some type of plant every day. Yeah, I mean, when you really think about it, depressing as hell.
It very much is.
It's depressing.
Yahki, what's the gorilla mix?
So the gorilla mix is basically a mix that I came up with. I studied gorillas for like 4 to 5 years. I seen what they ate. I took what they ate, and I made a formula out of it. And then, I'm very connected to the music industry. I'm very connected to the athlete industry, NBA. So I started giving all of my clients these different herbs, this different compound that I call the gorilla mix. And man, it started changing them. That's what I used to gain weight. When I first healed myself, I was super skinny and I couldn't get my weight back. But once I got on that gorilla mix, I gained my weight back. So now I don't have now I be trying to lose weight because I literally can uptake minerals and uptake amino acids to put mass on me quicker than a lot of other vegans, because I truly cleanse my body and I know how to mix and ratio my foods out. The gorilla mix is exactly what it sounds like. It's food that gorillas eat that I have basically created a blend out of for humans.
Got you.
And I'm talking about it brings energy, bro. Like I was giving that to football players, they on the field murdering cats. I'm telling you, giving it to basketball players. I mean, it's really increasing their energy and everything on the basketball court. So the gorilla mix is gonna be powerful. I'm actually gonna have it on sale on my website in about 2 months.
That's what's up. And I seen Jeremiah Karamura.
Yeah, Jeremiah. Shouts out, shalom, laka aki. I need to tell. Yeah,
he credit you for his everything. Like.
Yeah, me and him worked together for like a whole year, man. That's my brother. And a lot of them, when they come to me, they want me to sign like privacy clause and say I can't mention their names and stuff. Of course, a lot of them are dealing with like very, very eternal illnesses that they don't want the world to know about.
Of course.
Yeah, so I can't mention a lot of names. But no, Jeremiah didn't do that. And he wasn't dealing with no crazy illness. He just wanted to perform better. He just had went vegan and he wanted to perform better on the field. So we came together, man. We came up with a good diet program with him. We went out there and chilled with him in Cleveland for a minute. And I mean, you see what the gorilla mix did, man. Like he made a lot of headlights those years that we worked together. So shouts out to my brother, man. That's my Hebrew brother. I love you, brother. And thank you for the shout out, brother, because you didn't have to do that.
Blessing. Yahki, so man, I'm still in the that's lost in your world.
You can't be that lost if you got me here. You know something.
I know something.
You know something.
You know you conscious of something, but you still do
Yeah, I think that's everybody.
Yeah,
still.
you conscious, but you still do. You know what I mean? So I still be smoking. You know what I mean?
Very much drinking.
I can't even go against you.
He adding to your list. Very much drinking.
Boy, you don't know
he added to your list.
Yahki, you don't know, boy. You don't know how much it took out of me to not smoke, boy.
I'm glad.
I gotta respect it. It's all good. It's all good, Yahki.
Anything you said, but we was going. Yeah, but Yahki, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because even the food you talking about right now, like growing up, like you know what I mean. Rastas sound like when you talk about how they eat, it sounds like a Rasta to me.
Yeah, Rasta far right.
Yeah,
Shouts out to the Rasta.
And then even with the smoking now, I understand when you talking about when you put the fire to it.
Yeah, change the chemical composition and the molecular structure.
That's why I ain't arguing with you because I actually know Rasta niggas that don't put fire. They steam.
Yeah. And that's what you're supposed to do. Steam your weed, steam it. I mean, if you're a real bushman, you know, the bushman, you gonna steam it, you're not gonna put no flame to it. Yes. And you will yield more mineralization and more THC from it than truly burning it. When you burn marijuana, you get cytotoxins that come from it that actually robs the brain of oxygen. And not only that, it kills brain cells. And then it literally uptakes estrogen, phytoestrogen, and cytoestrogen, and it lowers testosterone when you smoke weed. This is scientifically proven. So when you start seeing what weed is doing, it's actually robbing a lot of men of their masculinity.
Yeah.
I mean, I want y'all to do this own study yourselves, but
this new weed or this period?
This weed period. Now let's talk about the hybrids though, because you do got new hybrid weed without seeds. But any weed with THC in it, when you burn it, it changes the molecular structure. It inhibits testosterone and it yields estrogen. So whenever the black man's body, so-called black man's body, is robbed of testosterone, it's going to automatically push up phytoestrogen. And this estrogen is crazy because estrogen is a cellular proliferator. And that's what women have in their body at a high rate to actually give them hormones and chemistry to give them hips. It opens up their hips for they can get ready to have birth. It make their breasts big. So it literally shapes and molds and guides a woman. So imagine that being in a man body. Now you're going to start seeing men with deforming man boobs. He's going to start having more effeminate ways. They did a study on this. And I'm not just...
You saying that the weed nowadays, then it's turning...
That's crazy.
I mean, it is, to be honest with you, but it ain't only the weed, it's the food too. The food is turning man effeminate too. The food is look, it's something called the Y chromosome. So when you get a woman pregnant, right, at the 6-week mark, it determines whether that X chromosome is going to join with a Y chromosome. It's going to determine whether it's going to be a boy or girl. All embryos starts off as a female. At the 6-week mark, if a Y chromosome is added, that's when it turns into a boy, right? Check this out. Tell me why within the last 10 years, scientists have been frantically scared because men are losing the Y chromosome, especially amongst the black community. So we losing the Y chromosome. And you have something called penile atrophy. And what penile atrophy is, it's a disease that's high amongst black men now within the last 20 years where our penises is shrinking. We lost 2 inches of width and growth in the last 10 years of our penises. And guess who penises is growing?
White
the
man.
Caucasian man.
Yo,
so it's like we are being targeted and attacked.
That's crazy,
I'm sorry for cutting you off, Yahki, but we had Dr. Umar on here, right?
Yeah.
And Dr. Umar said something about the NRA? The NRA seeds or something like RNF, sorry.
Yeah.
RNF seeds.
Yeah.
And I can't disrespect you, Dr. Umar. Dr. Umar said the seed they made just for black people.
What it does is, so it goes it goes inside the bloodstream.
Yes.
And it finds a cell. When this get inside the cells, it's go through something called the nucleus of the cell. It binds to the actual mRNA messengers and the DNA fragment of the cells. This thing, hell yeah, they done had this out for the last 10 years. So who came up with this was Bill Gates and them. Look, let me tell you what it does. They actually, look, when this go in the body, it can go in a white man body and completely leave them harmless. This is how you know biochemically we different. Because it can get inside a black man physiology and it can straight kill your cells. It stunts your growth. It shrinks your penis.
Yeah.
It shuts down, look, it actually shuts down your thyroid gland. It shrinks your pineal gland.
What's the pineal gland, boss?
The pineal gland is the first eye. It's what's in control of the circadian rhythm, or what you'll call the awakened sleep pattern. It's stimulated by light. It's your spiritual eye. If you open this eye up, it's called quantum entanglement. You'll become one with everything. You'll be able to see the future. You'll be able to read your DNA. You'll be able to unlock you'll be able to unlock your DNA. So it's your spiritual eye.
And they know how to kill that.
Man, they not only killing your spiritual eye, they killing your melanin. They killing it. They're killing your melanin.
But I just seen some the other day too. Like they taking melanin now, putting it in computers. You see that?
Yeah, because melanin. So
how do they do that?
It's easy, man. We are computers.
So they take it.
You are called a biological computer.
No, what I'm trying to say. Okay, what I'm trying to say though, Yahki, what? How are they getting the melanin?
They're kidnapping black men, black women, and why you think all the look? Y'all ain't hear about them 85? What was it? 8,500 or 85 black women that just came up missing from Oprah Winfrey School.
In Africa.
Where they at?
Yeah. Well,
did y'all? What about all these black men that end up missing? Then they find them years later with all they eternal, not internal, because we eternal people. All the eternal organs missing. It's an evil world we living in, and so look, melanin right now. And if you look it up, I think it's at $463 a gram. No, every single cell.
I swear to you,
it's more expensive. Melanin is more expensive than gold right now per gram. $463 a gram.
A gram costs $40 a gram.
You see what I'm saying? Yeah. So look, check this out. So 460. You have 150 trillion cells in your body. Each trillion cells in your body have melanin particles and melanin fragments in it. You are a walking gazillionaire.
God damn.
So look. So now it makes sense why we coming up missing. We coming up missing, and we missing the organs that have most of the melanin in it. You have more melanin in your heart and in your internal organs than you have in your skin, and they are taking it, man. That's why you see we are missing. Where's all the black men going? Have y'all ever Googled the statistics of how many black women get abducted and they never find them a year? Like y'all should whip out y'all phones and start looking up this stuff, man. It will blow your mind.
Please, man. So
start testing what I'm saying. Black women that's coming up missing worldwide. And then they're turning up with their organs missing. Black men turning up missing worldwide. And then when they turning them up, they don't even have their organs. Even after, and most of the time the body is decomposed. Lately, within the last 5 years, they starting to pull our teeth from our skull. Don't know what they doing with our teeth, but they're pulling our teeth from our skulls.
You ain't gonna look that up and try to find out why they pulling the teeth?
Man, it's a very depressing thing. Study, man, this is depressing. The more and more I study, the more depressing it's depressing, man.
Yahki, you a young black dude, dreads. You look like, you know what I mean, us.
Yeah.
And I know you up.
Yeah.
I ain't pocket, I know you up.
Yeah.
You out here doing some different work. Yeah, man, I ain't got time for that, man. Come on now, Yahki.
Yeah.
You don't be, I don't want to put this in your ear, or you doing something different. They ain't ever.
Yeah, man. We didn't have our break. I mean, the feds follow us around. They follow us around all the time.
I don't want to go and put that out there.
No, I mean, they follow us around. They done cut my brake lines. They always taking pictures of me and him. They follow us to Florida. They follow us everywhere. They holding like $450,000 of mine. They tried to get me for selling pseudo pharmaceuticals. They said selling herbs was selling pseudo pharmaceuticals. That's what the paperwork said. They tried to shut down all my merchant accounts. What they did, and then they just hacked my website. My website just got back up 2 days ago, right? They hacked my website.
Didn't you just fix the Shopify like about 2 weeks ago?
Yeah, because they hacking it.
And they kill it again?
No, it's up now, man. Now you finna have to, you getting that mug now, man. And then we found what it was. They put an Autobot on my website, and what the Autobot did was, because you know these robots don't sleep. This mug tried to crack every code on my website. It did like 80,000. It went within a minute. It went through 80,000 passwords on the website. Damn. That's how. Man, like, how can we even combat? How can we know some shit like that, man?
For real.
That's how you know ain't no regular person.
Oh no, and we follow IP addresses are back, and IP addresses now they ping them. Like this one, when we checked, it went to a water fountain in Chicago. But 2 years ago, when they did this, and I was going through all of my with the courts, and they was trying to get me for selling pseudo pharmaceuticals, it actually went back to a pharmaceutical company in Connecticut.
Man, no. Killing all you hitting all their patients.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Yahki, no. Yahki, all right, now I had a mishap, man. I'm gonna bring this up, man, but I gotta ask you about it because you here. And I feel like my heart telling me to ask you. You know what I mean? I had a little scare the other day. Mm-hmm. Right? And like it was inflammation on the spine.
Mm-hmm. Inflammation on the spine?
Yes. Mm-hmm. After they did the MRI. Mm-hmm. Not on me, but somebody very close to me though. Mm-hmm. What's the cause of that?
The cause of inflammation
they still ain't tell me yet.
So I'm gonna tell you that.
So they gave him steroids. They gave him steroids.
Yeah, because steroids.
After 5 days, they gave him something else.
It probably was another steroid.
Okay, it was stronger.
Yeah, well, it probably was a stronger steroid.
Yeah.
So inflammation is caused by acidosis. Simple. Whenever you get acids, the body try to rid it of acids. So inflammation is basically caused, it's the localization of a particular toxin. So whenever the body want to localize something for it won't go into the bloodstream and harm the rest of the body, because remember the body, if we're going to change our perspective, the body is trying to heal itself. Mm-hmm. So if you get acids in the body will accumulate the acids and stick it in a spot. And then swelling will happen. And they call this inflammation. Now let's break down the word to inflammation. Inflamed.
Yeah.
Flame is a fire. Fire is because the acidic blowback. So inflammation is just a localization of acidic waste. So inflammation is basically localizing an area until your body create a cold and flu-like symptom for you can either expectorate and get this acid out of your body, or what happens is the blood will thin itself through a fever and it either burn the bacteria that have something to do with that localization of the area, or it'll bring goodies to calcium and neutralize the acids.
Hold up, Yahki. What if it's a baby though, 18 months?
18. So we talk
information on the spine. They took fluids off his spine. Mm-hmm. What I'm trying to get an idea. What would cause that? So
now we got to talk about fluids. Where do fluids come from? The baby probably edemic. Now usually, that's what I'm trying to say. We have to change our edemic is when the body starts holding water in certain local areas of the body. Mostly, you see edema happen in the legs, or you see people walk around with big legs. You see people walk around with big flabby arms. Okay. That's edema.
Okay. Hold on. When he was walking, his leg was locked on him. He couldn't bend it.
That's edema. So the baby's edemic. The baby's edemic.
You can fix that?
Yeah, I can fix anything.
All right,
the baby's edemic, and the edema is coming from acids. So you got to ask where the acids is coming from.
Yes, please. Yeah,
so it's coming from the environment. Your mother is the environment. So maybe maybe mama was acidic when the mama had the baby. Because we have to understand that the environment starts the moment conception take place. That's the environment.
Yeah.
The moment conception take place. Imagine you drinking and smoking, right? And you making love to your woman and you ejaculate in your woman, but all you do is drink and you smoke.
That's already
all them toxins is already in your sperm.
Put that on me, Yahki.
Okay, let's put it on somebody. Let's put it on this brother. It gotta go. It ain't going on me. We put it on somebody. I ain't gonna put it on me though. But you see what I'm saying? So and that's the reason why we have to start sitting down and before you make love.
Be conscious, man, of what you're doing.
And not only that, I think it need to be led by a prayer. It need to be led out. But what is we doing while we having sex? What is we doing? What is we shooting for? You know what I'm saying? Not only that, is you healthy? Like me personally, I don't even lay down with a woman that don't eat my diet. I can't, you know what I'm saying? And I'm not judging a woman that eat meat, but I can't put my penis in a woman that eat meat because I already know that the vagina pH is more acidic than what it's supposed to be.
Facts,
and the pleomorphic bacteria inside our vagina canal is different than the pleomorphic bacteria that's inside of my penis shaft. That's gonna automatically throw my pH off. Everybody want to talk about the woman vagina pH. What about my pH?
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? I can't lay down with a woman that drink dairy products because we not only swapping spiritual information and data, we swapping genetic material. Even if you ain't in her, guess what? You have something called pre-cum. Pre-cum still have genetic material. So we are literally swapping information. It's called sexual intercourse. You're literally entering a course. A course is something to learn. It's a journey. So when you have sex, you're literally going to school and you learning each other genetic material. You exchanging DNA.
Yeah.
What happened if she got DNA, you got fucked up DNA, and then y'all conceive? Now you got a baby.
Yep.
So that's the environment. So we have people like, well, you ain't put the baby don't drink milk. Well, the baby is in this. The baby don't do this. The baby only do this. The baby only on the breast milk. What about the breast milk?
What y'all do? What the mama do? What the daddy do?
Yeah. What about the breast milk? You see what I'm saying? What about the bra she wearing? What about what she eating and she drinking? And then, the so-called African-American Negro, we have a thing where we cliche on, I'm pregnant. I want to mix things together. I got a taste for peanut butter and honey and potato chips today. You know what I'm saying? Don't even go together.
That's real.
We don't know that these things are breaking down into phytotoxins and chemicals, and the breast holds a lot of information. and then you feed in the baby your lymphatic system, you have a stagnated lymphatic system. The lymphatic system is made to be the sewage system of the body, right? Mm-hmm. So imagine putting your baby on the breast, and the lymphatic system is some of the main fluids that's in the breast. Then you have something called, you got glucagon, you got galactose, you got 0.07 of protein in the breast. You have so many things inside the breast, right? But most of it is associated with mucus in the lymphatic system. The lymphatic system is made to take on the accumulation of all the trash and all the cytotoxemia that's built up in the cells. Mm-hmm. So the breast literally act as a trash bag. It's two trash bags when you unhealthy. Mm-hmm. Then you have the baby, and the first thing you do is put the baby on the trash bag. Mm-hmm. And then we be wondering why the babies is messed up. And now look, this is how you know it's a lose-lose situation, and we got to change our lives. Because if you don't put the baby on the breast, it cuts the intelligence of the baby down by 24%.
So the question I'm asking now, if you don't put the baby on breastfeeding, what do you put the baby on?
So look, exactly. I'm going to give you an alternative. Yeah. Well, I ain't gonna say alternative because it ain't alternative. It's what Mother Nature was doing. Mm-hmm. But usually they put the baby on Similac or something else, which is worse than the backed up systemic blowback titty. So it's like we don't have nowhere to go. But luckily, God created Yahki, and Yahki done figured it out. Yeah. But you can make your own baby formula though, and you can use coconut powder. You can use dates. It's a whole bunch of things that you can mix together to really make your own. And I tried to do one, and I took it to the FDA, and they told me not only no, they told me hell no. So they shut me down, man. And it was happening around the time where all the baby milk got recalled. Y'all remember baby milk got recalled?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Man, I would have came up. I would have came up, boy. They said, they did not only tell me no, they told me hell no. You know what I'm saying? That was going to change the face of the black community. Yeah. A black-owned, vegan, organic baby formula. Man, I was finna change the game. I wouldn't even probably be here right now at this table, man. I'd be somewhere sitting.
Before I make you go, Yahki, man, my sister got one question for you before you go. Hold up. Damn, man. Corey, make a hold the mic real quick, Corey. Because I want to hear, I want you to pick up.
Loud enough.
Go ahead, go ahead. Come.
Hey, that's it. One guan.
So, did you do any research to find out if there's another market that you can probably sell that product in?
So yeah, we did. So we hooked up with a company. The company is based in New York. I ain't gonna give all the information on them, but we got a few products coming out. We got the Coherence right now. We got Coherence coming out, which is this brain food. I call it brain food, Coherence. We got the baby formula coming out. We got the Gorilla Mix coming out. And we got Supernatural coming out. Supernatural will have the penis like that.
Stiff up.
Man, I'm stiff up. Yeah, stiff up.
Yeah, I need
Jamaican
that
style.
That's Supernatural. Yeah.
That's called Supernatural. Then we got the baby formula that's called Pure Organics. That's the name of the actual baby food. So we got all these coming out. They're gonna be rolling out. So the first one get rolled out in 2 months, and then we're gonna be rolling everything out. So hopefully is everything will be out by the beginning of next year, and we're gonna try to get them in stores. If not, they say we gotta go lobby with the lobbyists. If they don't bite on it, then we just gonna have to sell it from the website.
Don't you got a clinic too?
Yeah, we got a clinic. I have a clinic in St. Louis, Missouri on the south side. We building a clinic in Houston, and I'm trying to build a clinic in Atlanta. Mm-hmm. And the clinic have all natural herbs. You can go there and get lymphatic massages. You can go and get your checkups and right now the one in Houston, you're gonna be able to get blood work, IV therapy, all types of stuff in the one in Houston. And we're gonna bring that same one to Atlanta.
Yeah.
A real clinic, full clinic.
Yeah, black owned by black so-called black owned by indigenous people that really know what they doing, and we are not. So the good thing about me and my position and my perspective is I don't believe in disease. So it's kind of hard to lock up that don't believe in disease because I can't cure something I don't believe in.
You ain't going at no particular thing.
You see what I'm saying? So I kind of got me a good niche going right now.
Yeah, facts.
Man, Yahki, real doctor, man, real. Like I said, man, real G, man. Thank you so much for coming through. You blessed us.
Appreciate that, man.
This is probably our first episode. We ain't smoked, bro, but I was not gonna disrespect you.
Nah, it's all good, bro.
Nah, you know what I mean? Because you came
through. Respect, my brother, for real.
I had fun, even though some of the things I'm about to go watch this clip like over 10 times to get some just to make sure I got everything you said. But I'm so happy, man. You came through and blessed us, man.
Appreciate you, Ken.
Nah, thank you for the knowledge, brother.
Much love, guys.
Round the Way podcast, baby. We got Yahki checking in.
With another one, man. Y'all know what's up.
Peace.
Yes,
Bless.
sir.
Let's
Round
go.
the way.
Rasta.
Respect Nabi.
Respect.
Man, Nabi, respect Nabi. Top guy. Yes.
Hey,
Yahki
I
boss.
don't think y'all know. We run around every day trying to speak patois, like all day.
real?
Me and my the whole day. So like we've been practicing on this for about the last 2 years, y'all. This is all we do. We talk like this for no reason all day, every day.
I like you, Lucky, man. You got a good spirit, man.
Oh, praise
Spirit, a humble soul. And I wish you the best, and I pray to God that you stay covered.
Man, keep doing what you're doing for the black community out here.
Appreciate y'all.
On
Appreciate
God,
Not
boy.
even for the black community, but for anybody that needs some help and needs some healing.
Appreciate that.
Yeah.
But that black community do
It's the
need to have
most
some
important.
emphasis on
Yes,
it, though.
exactly.
Facts.
Facts.
Do need to have some emphasis on
the
it.
black community.
Yeah.
Facts.
But yeah, we heal anybody though. But I do love my people, and that's my first priority. So
Let's go. Round the way. Bomb. Check it out.
Yes, sir. Rapping out, baby.